Hey guys, it's me, your lovely host Rin, and today we're gonna have a podcast with Mr. Potent Da Rockstar.
Hey, what's up, man?
Before we begin, I have a few rules.
Hmm.
Please don't send hate to anyone we mention here or to anyone here. It's strictly just our opinion. Like, don't worry about it. Okay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment on this video.
Right.
And please be polite. Without further ado, let's begin.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so before I started recording, we were talking about the Mexican beer company, right?
Right.
And the way it's affected people so far.
Right.
And you were talking about uh, yeah, the way we're sitting on social media all the time, with our heads down, looking at our phone, and we're it's in a bad posture, and the fact that it's messing up our system actually, because the spinal cord is one of the most important parts of the nervous system. It's the thing that um, processes signals we get from outside, and it sends it to the brain.
Hmm.
If something there goes wrong, and especially with the posture we're sitting in, then we might not be getting the right signals, or we might getting stuff that actually makes us feel terrible, makes us feel worse than what's actually going on.
Right. Right. Yeah. What we were talking about was the idea of um, when you're on your phone. For the most part, people are not on their phone like this. Only when they're taking a picture, they put their phone up high and they look up. Most of the time, people are looking down at their phone, and they're there for 20, 30 minutes sometimes at a time. You could talk to them, they're not even listening to the whole world, so they're probably running a script in their head. I would hope that it's not just in your head going deeper, deeper, deep, this looks cool, deeper. I would hope that there's actually something going on in your head, that you're thinking about more things than one, because really you're just like on autopilot. But the problem with it is, while you're on autopilot, you're constantly looking down. And when you're sad, when you're depressed, when you feel lonely, when you have doubt, you look down. So looking down, it probably most likely has some type of context in your body of sending the signals to your brain that, hey, we're not feeling good. Hey, we don't feel good about something. And at the same time, simultaneously, for the most part, I know that I don't have too much. Uh, what I'm trying to say is, I don't follow people that have this extravagant lifestyle. I don't pay attention to the glamorous people. I follow regular people, so I don't feel insecure, because I see, I see Ren, I see UG, I see, like, it's all of us. We here, and we all live in different
Mhm.
lives. We all, some people got more money than other people, but we don't look at each other like that. We're not thinking
Mhm.
about money. We're not thinking about status. We just, like, we're people, and we have the same, like, common goals, same agenda, same
Well, I
ideas,
like the
same.
vibe.
Yeah, we have the same love, for humanity. We want to joke around, but we also care, obviously. So we're cool. But for the most part, my point is, for the most part, a lot of people are just stuck on what is popular, who has the most money, who has the most followers, and that can feel belittling, subconsciously and covertly. You just belittling yourself by seeing something that other people have. They're having a great time, and you're having the worst time, or maybe you're not having the worst time. Maybe you have a bunch of stuff, but you want more, because the world is telling you that you should have more, and there's other people that have more, and you get to watch them. And meanwhile, you're looking down the whole time doing it. I think it could be sending severe signals to your brain too, because it's not like we watch it. We're not like looking up when we're on our phones. which is weird, right? What do you think about that, Rin?
This is actually an interesting point you brought up. This is actually what I wanted to talk about because I've actually like approached other people, like other creators, other artists to talk about stuff with them. And one thing like that some of them like said that I don't want to say it struck a chord with me, but like it just left a bad taste in my mouth, and it had to do with like the whole like I have more followers than you thing. Like it's like you're automatically discredited once you have less followers than someone. This is why I don't really talk with people just because I see, oh, they have like a huge following or whatever. I've talked with people who I can vibe with, or else I'll get those feelings, I get those bad signals, and I'll start questioning myself, even though that's not how stuff is, or that's not even how stuff works. But it's just in that area, or yeah, social media world, it works like air quotes like that.
Right. But so does that get you upset, Rin? Are you getting upset when people are hitting you like what why are they even saying that? Why would they even say, "Hey, I got more followers than you?" Because they see that you're actually trying to do something with yourself. And even if they do have more followers, maybe if I don't know what it is, it could be a guy, it could be a chick, I don't know. Um, but
Yeah,
it's
there
a
could be many factors, but
but
yeah.
just to say that, right? To say, "Hey, um, I got more followers than you." Like, what does that actually mean? Like, what do you mean by you have more followers than me? Do you know more people than me? Are you more successful at what I'm trying to pursue than me? Like, what are we competing for? The numbers? Because there's plenty of people that have numbers and all they do is show their body all day, and it
Yeah.
really it doesn't equate to actual dollars or success or happiness in life. So what is like that's just somebody trying to trump you, trying to like shut you down, trying to belittle you. You should never listen to that, girl. Like, cause that you know what it is. They hating. They see you
Yeah.
actually pursuing something. They see you motivated, and they don't have anything that they're working on. They're not motivated on anything at all. So they have to tear down somebody else's castle. If you're making a beautiful sand castle and you're doing a great job making a beautiful sandcastle, and the person next to you don't know how to make a sandcastle, or maybe they do know how to make a sandcastle and they don't have the confidence, they don't believe in themselves, and they think, hey, I can't make a sandcastle.
So why
So guess
should
what?
you?
So guess what? Rin, you don't know how to make a sandcastle either. You shouldn't make one, and the audacity for you to think that you can make one because I can't make one and that's it. Have you ever heard that one before?
Yeah,
Because
I
I've
heard
heard
about
that
it.
one a few times, you know. Um, it's just haters, just haters, you know. It's just haters. I don't pay attention to those type of things too much. I, to put it nicely, I realize that a lot of people are just not that smart as they should be. And instead of reacting to what idiots in the world are saying to try to boost themselves up a little bit, you just ignore it. And if you're gonna react, it just laugh, just ha ha ha. You're funny, because it's like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Yeah, in a way, to like cope with that and process that, I actually like created the character of Violet.
Yeah, what's Violet about?
So Violet is supposed to be like an extreme exaggerated version of like this I've usually seen it in fandoms and communities. It's like a super toxic person. They're super hyped about something, or they're trying to like cancel someone, or they're extremely mean. But the thing is, she doesn't learn from her mistakes, and she keeps making the same mistakes. But she will have to. pay the price and the, yeah, consequences in the end.
Okay. So
But
that's
that doesn't
Violet.
mean that she won't learn stuff, but she will have to deal with the backlash.
Okay, so that's Violet. That's your.
Yeah, it's a way of like coping with like stuff like this on the internet as well, and like criticism, like certain types of criticism, because it helps. You can not, I'm gonna say project your feelings onto like a character. It's just like experiment with it and, you know, have some fun, have some comedy.
I
And
get you. I get you. So it's like a stage name, so you can
yeah,
just perform and have a good time
exactly,
and
like making
express yourself.
skits and, yeah, expressing myself. Like I'm uh I'm not Violet, but I can see some aspects of myself in her, or some insecurities that I have and that she expresses.
Okay.
And then
What's
I
one?
can find
Give
ways
me.
to
Give me
deal with
one.
that.
Give me one insecurity. I'm sorry to cut you off. Give me one insecurity, Ren.
Okay, this is one that I've had to deal with since elementary school. It was actually my my looks. Like at home, everybody was like, "Oh, you look fine. There's nothing wrong with you." Like, but like when I was growing up, like at school, and I was like my looks were made fun of. Like people said I look like a transgender male.
Why? Where?
I don't
Okay.
even
Where?
know.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Suriname. It's a place in the Caribbean. It's actually like a part of South America, but it
Okay.
geographically it belongs to the Caribbean.
Okay. So you're in. So you're in South America.
Not right now. For school, I had to move to Europe, but I am in South America.
Okay. So you travel back and forth. So when you're in South
Yeah.
America for living, it's mainly like Spanish people. I'm assuming like
It's
Hispanics.
not Spanish. It's actually Dutch.
So it's white people.
No, like the white people went back to the Netherlands and just come back for like vacation tourism, but they don't really stay unless they really like the place. Like, but after the independence, they all just like stayed in Holland,
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
and
So it's
everybody's family travels back and forth, or like I forgot like how you call those islands in English, like Curacao, Aruba, like that area.
okay.
Yeah, like people travel throughout the Caribbean and then to like Europe and then Suriname. So
Okay.
that's,
I'm gonna have to look that up on the map. I think you said it one time on Tentacles Croissant, and I could not remember for the life of me. Um. Okay. So it's just basically Hispanic people or
yeah,
Black
like
people,
mixed
just a
people.
bunch of mixed people.
Yeah,
And how old are you?
I'm 19.
You're 19. So when were they calling? When were they saying these jokes?
Like
Wasn't last week.
no, it was when I was let me think. It's been a long time, so it was like when I was like around 8, and yeah, 8 or 9.
Oh, come on. You better not be holding on to those. Come on, Ren. You better not be holding on to that. You better let that go.
I actually let it
You're a
go, and
totally
uh
different person now.
but a thing that stuck with me that I actually regretted from holding on to it for so long and then finally letting it go, now I'm being able to express myself, was some of the lasting damage, like for instance with my posture, because I didn't like, because I felt insecure, I kept sitting like this because I was in a way trying to hide myself from that, trying to hide from the criticism instead of learning from it and learning how to react. That I don't have to get upset every time somebody says something. I don't have to feel ashamed. And I wish I had learned that sooner. It would have given me more confidence. But I'd rather, I'm happier that I learned it now instead of, even if I was, even if I was older and I would have learned then, it wouldn't mattered. I just like the fact that I was able to learn it.
Right.
And
Right.
now I have to go through the process of healing that damage that was done. And now I'm a lot happier, a lot healthier. But
Well, you're good.
it sometimes stings though.
Man, you're fine. You're 19. You're 19. You got your life ahead of you. You have the information in front of you. You're gonna be fine. You're
I'm
gonna be fine. Those a-holes that were saying stuff to you when you were 8, they might not be fine. They might be messed up for life, but you'll be fine. No, I'm just
glad.
playing, Ren. Dang.
Oh, because it kept going on till high school. After that, like the last year of high school, I just said fuck it all, and then I went through some sort of mental change and began to understand stuff more and was like, hey, I can control the way things make me feel. Like I can say people can say shit to me. Oh, oops. People can say whatever to me, but I can choose to get angry about it or not.
Right,
And I'm a lot happier not getting angry about it.
right. I mean, like for me, I get wound up. I can get wound up. It depends on the situation. I get wound up, but then like in my head or like on the side, I'm like, I can't believe. Look at me. Look at me right now. I'm getting all upset. Like, look at me. I'm getting upset because this guy. Who is this guy? I don't even know this guy. Why am I getting upset about what he's saying? He probably just saying something because I remind him of another person in his life, and you remind me of this guy. Or I just thought about, say for instance, I put up memes, anti-mask or whatever it is. Like in the meme that I put up, sometimes are very witty, sometimes there's nuance, sometimes they go over some people's heads. And if you just had an argument, I don't know what their life is right now, right, Ren? I don't know what they're going through. If they just had an argument for 45 minutes about people wearing masks or don't wear masks, and then you go on Instagram and boom, it's my meme that pops up and it kind of seems like don't wear a mask. It's like, but it isn't. I never said that. But it kind of reminds you of that conversation you just had 45 minutes where you were yelling till you were blue in the face. And now you coming to me on my Instagram. I don't know you. You don't know me. And you leave me a big paragraph like, oh, you're an anti-masker. Hey, you. And it's like, sometimes I just be like, yo, chill out. Sometimes I just, I give it to them straight and I'll
Yeah.
tell them all the information. Sometimes I just, excuse me, sometimes I just make jokes. I laugh at them and I leave it be because you're coming through with a bunch of hostility about something that really isn't what I'm talking about. It's just leftover baggage from whatever happened to you last week or this morning. And I don't got time for it because I'm not gonna sit here. I know what it is when I get upset. I'm sure you probably feel the same. When you get upset, somebody saying something, how long does it play in your head
It
and
does
all the
play
which
for a
ways
while.
that you can come back to him too? Like, I can say this, and what about that? And I can say, and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Like, I'm gonna go play a video game for 10 minutes. I'll just go smoke a little bit and chill out or whatever. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's healthier to like go through the emotions than just to get angry at yourself for thinking about the fact that you thought, how can I get back at this person? You're like, okay, I had that thought. Let me just get through it. Oh, my batter my yeah, let me just get through it and find and work on not falling into that mindset. Even if you do, that's not a problem. Like taking some little steps to eventually like not give a f about it.
Yeah, 100%. You know, one thing that I've been working on recently, because part of me doing podcasting and talking and stuff is because I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's narcissism, confidence, maybe I just have an idea, maybe it's a feeling, I don't know. I think I have something to offer by talking and telling people some shit. Sorry, pardon my language. You know, telling people some stuff and saying it from my perspective and hoping that for some people that don't know me, I'm not their friend because if I was your friend, you wouldn't even listen to me when I say all these different type of things. But we can become friends later, right? But I feel like just saying certain things I could help people, so I talk. You get what I'm saying? But part of it was a lot of my life when I would talk, I would be talking in a room full of idiots, and it didn't matter what I would say, they would chop my head off. Basically, it was burn the witch like every time I would talk. So, excuse me, excuse me, I'm all gassy because I'm drinking a beer. Sorry. Uh, So, um,
That's okay.
I get into this freeze response when I'm talking and someone uh is cutting me off deliberately to, just say whatever the hell is on their mind. They'll just say whatever they want to say over whatever I'm saying. And like we're talking back and forth and now I'm getting cut off and I'm being polite, but I'm in a room full of savages, so no one's trying to be polite. And it would trigger me to this point where I feel like low, depressed. I get into a freeze response where like, man, whatever. I'm not even gonna talk. Like no one even wants to hear anything I gotta say. And then, so what would happen is I get triggered in say for instance my girlfriend will be talking and it's just like she's excited about one thing, I'm excited about one thing. Now it's not malicious, it's not deliberate, it's not to gaslight me, it's not to belittle me. It's just because she's excited about what she was doing and I'm excited about what I'm doing. So now I'm getting cut off and then I'm getting triggered to that exact freeze response from all the things that happened to me in my life. So I'm getting pretty good to like, you know what? No, even though I fall into that freeze response, I need to fight and make sure that because I will get to this part, Rin. I'll get to a certain situation where I'm talking and somebody cut me off, and my energy would drop so much that I'll forget what I'm talking about. You ask me, and I'm like, I don't know. And I wouldn't know. I would not know. And it takes me a while. Like I was talking and because that's basically how my brain starts to react because I've been beaten down with it. So I've been working on that. I just want to let you know I've been working on that. I don't care. I don't know if you care, but hey,
I care. Like you're making progress. It's getting a lot better.
something I'm
As long
working
as
on.
you understand it and you find a way to get yourself out of there, then you don't have to worry.
It's a new thing. It's a new thing. That's why I'm telling you because I'm like,
You're excited about it.
right, excited and also I'm aware of it and I like to just say it out. I thought about it. I caught myself. Look, I get like this every time, and then I can't even remember what I'm saying. So, no, you're going to try to continue the conversation, even though something, so that it's like trying to make a freeze response into a fight response. I don't know. I be trying. I just be trying some stuff. Like I listen to Richard Grant and I watch a few other people and I also do my own like little research. I'm not like opening up massive books. I just sit and think about my experiences and try to come up with a certain direction that I would want to take because I've lived a life of many experiences where I can kind of get a somewhat of a great understanding of people as a whole because I'm Puerto Rican, best friends are black, white friends is growing up, white friends on tour. Like I've dealt with all the races, so you can't tell me that oh, it's because that's that race and they do that thing. Sure, some races do some things, but the majority of people do the same thing,
Yeah.
but they just do it in a different style, you know? It's like everybody would dance, but everybody has their different ways of dancing, you know? Something like that. I don't know. Next question, Rin.
Uh, yeah, like how long have you thought about like doing like the podcast thing? Because like first time I saw you on Tentacle Croissant actually, and I was like, who is this person? I'm interested, and then I started like I saw you on Instagram, and I was like vibing with your memes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that I found your podcast because I was like, I watched a few episodes. Even watched them live, and a few of the people that I talked to also talk with you. And in a way, we created like this little community. Like
Right.
energy gets shared, and it's a lot of a happier experience rather than just being focused like so much on one point.
Right. Right.
There's more of a
Um,
flow.
so you asked me when I started or when I thought about doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I honestly wanted to do a podcast. Um, if I think back, it's probably been 4 or 5 years since I wanted to start a podcast. So there's some embarrassing podcasts that I hope got deleted somehow. Maybe the laptop got ran over by a truck or something because there's some there's like 6, 7 episodes of embarrassing content that me and my friend did, and we had like a whole room full of people, chiming in and laughing, and we're talking, and we're on things, not just drinking a beer, relaxing. Like we were on things, we're smoking, whatever. Embarrassing. Just talking, and it was the first time like I knew I wanted to do it. I was a big fan of Joe Rogan. So I'm like, I want to do this podcasting thing. My friend's like, let's do it. He was actually a radio show host for a college radio. So I'm like, yeah, I know he knows what he's doing, and I can talk and be animated and be goofy, whatever. So let's try it. It was embarrassing. It was just embarrassing. So I'm like, all right, can't do it. I can't do it with him. I can't do it with those people around me because it was besides being embarrassing was like I'm trying to talk about life and love and compassion and empathy and trauma and different things. He's trying to talk about like wrestling and music and I'm like, I don't want to talk about wrestling. Maybe we could do a different podcast about wrestling, but you just took this whole podcast we were talking about because you know how crazy, like, we're talking. At any moment, I could just take this conversation in a different direction, and then you'll have to try to reel me back in. So he was just going into like pro wrestling, and I'm like, we're not. All right, I guess we're talking about wrestling now because I didn't know what I was doing. After which, I'm sorry, because I know you want to ask me something else. I'm not done with my.
Oh, no. If as long as the transition goes a little smoothly, like when you're talking about it, it goes along a lot easier. But if you're having a podcast mainly about a certain topic, then going into too many different directions might actually make it a little more confusing.
Definitely,
So I agree.
definitely. So after that, I got I went through a bunch of different things in my life, family problems, relationship problems, and then I'm like, you know what? In like a weird mental illness vibe where I'm like super BPD, like I would be all the way up there on that spectrum at that moment, you know. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do my podcast by myself, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do my podcast by myself. So I just start talking into a phone. Meanwhile, like I'm going through hell with my ex girlfriend, who was, you know, she was a manipulator, let's just say that, and stuff with my family, like close family at the same time. So I felt alone, completely alone, isolated. I wasn't doing music for a while. I was like, I just stopped. I was still putting up memes because I still like had a little bit of like the fire never goes out in me. It just keeps on ticking. So like I was still putting up memes and like, oh well, I'll do something, but I wasn't doing any music. And like memes was just a means to an end. It's basically just to try to promote who I am. Like you like my memes, you most likely like me because that's who I am. I'm not just catering to other people. I'm doing stuff that's for me, and other people like it because they relate. So anyway, I decided to do a podcast on my phone. I was crying through the half the podcast. I was choking up. I
Aw.
couldn't even get words together. I couldn't like, and I did like 5 hours. I had to do like 5 hours of this podcast. Just like emotionally crying, choked up. All right, I can't put this out. This is trash. And I want to say I still have it, but that phone kind of went bad. So maybe one day, I always think about it. Maybe one day I'll take a little piece of it and put it up on my podcast and let people hear that as well to see the state that I was in because it definitely captures that state of mind when you're really like losing it, and just see to compare and contrast. All right, this guy, look at him here, look at him there, look at him there. Like through different situations in my life, through different things that are going on in my life, you could scale me as, oh, this guy's super mentally ill, and then I'm here with Red, and I'm drinking, I'm drinking a beer and I'm chilling. I don't have no problem. I'm not overreacting or anything. It's just you could tell that the situation has a lot to do with the person's mental state.
And once you can tell the different stuff, stuff starts making a lot more sense, and you'll start to understand the person a lot better.
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes that line does get a little blurred, but it doesn't matter. You just gotta take your time and try to understand.
Yep. Yeah.
I was about to say something, but oh yeah, almost forgot it. Um, yeah, I actually started my podcast like all the way back in May. Um, when I was talking with the other two from Tentacle Croissant, and
Okay.
I got like interested in it. But now looking back on it, I actually wanted to do something like this a long time ago, and I didn't realize it because I was always busy online on the internet. I was making more vlog style videos, cooking videos. Um, but even before that, I was like making these little videos. Like my family used to have like these get togethers, and my cousin had like this magic show. And I was like, hey, what can I bring to the table? What can I do? And I was actually I was still like a little kid. I was around, I think, 9 or 8, and I had
Mm-hmm.
like a small laptop.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I should have like uploaded everything because it would have like looked cute, but all of the video footage is lost. I just record myself, use the webcam, and pretend like I was hosting a show, and I would sing. I would have these little hand puppet characters act out scenes, and I didn't know how to edit, but I was using like a mirror and videos, and I was like using the mirror to incorporate the video. Yeah, that I was looking up like as clips into
Mm.
the video I was filming. And looking back on it, like I did change, but it's it's always been like a part of me. So I'm glad
Yes.
that I'm doing something with it.
Yeah,
Like
that's
if I
good.
go way even more back, I think it sort of started when I was on this show. It was actually for kids. Sometimes there are these shows with like these people in these costumes, like an
Mhm.
animal or something. And
Right. Like Barney? You mean
yeah,
Barney?
like Barney, but there's like a lady. She was like in a toucan costume.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, she like passed away a long time ago. But they
It
had
was a
like
lady in a
kids.
toucan costume.
Yeah,
So
lady in a toucan
this is
costume.
some South American stuff right here. A lady in a toucan costume.
I wish I
Really?
had saved the
Really?
video.
Really?
Yeah.
Like we know that Barney is he's a dinosaur, you know. There was dinosaurs before. Like we're not doing American Eagle over here. Why would you do
And I actually like brought my pet parrot to the show, and I was like feeding him, and like everybody had like something to show. A girl was like dancing ballet, another guy was like doing something else. I was doing poetry and feeding a bird. It's
You're
like
doing
the
poetry?
cutest thing. I wish I had saved it.
Yeah, you should have
I went
saved
to
it.
ask
That's a classic.
for the episode, but they didn't have it in their archive anymore. So I was kind of a bit disappointed because it was adorable.
Right.
So like, and I'm glad that I get to do it by myself, like because I learned how to do this stuff, and I can also make my own props if I want to do like the comedy sketches and stuff with, for instance, Violet and her cast of characters in her little universe. I can just like make the props, do like all the stuff by myself, and edit, and I know how to do it, and I don't have to rely too much on others
Right.
because I know now stuff is like a bit difficult for people, and we can't always come together, or some things are a bit slower. So I can at least like push forward and put out stuff that I like, and I just want to see people happy. I want to make people happy. I want to make people laugh. I just love seeing smiles.
I get that. I get that. I totally understand that because I'm the same way. Like I like to act out, but honestly, I'm toned down. My cat just did something. Something just fell.
Oh
Oh,
no.
sorry. One of them paintings. I got paintings over there that just fall whenever the hell they want to. So yeah, I like to make people laugh. And honestly, I was saying honestly, I'm like toned down 70%. I'm at 70% when people see me. I like what I've been doing. Part of like working on myself is just finding a good balance where I'm not annoying the hell out of anybody and I'm being funny and I can come back and relax and chill. And then if I want to wound myself up, because you know, as a kid, I was just the kid that was yapping, blah, 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 blah. You just didn't shut up. So part of it was like you got to shut up, you got to listen, and that's psychedelics. Honestly, was the first time that I really like popped that open where I'm like, I'm not just quiet because I'm in my head and thinking about something totally different while you're talking. I'm actually quiet because I'm listening and I'm giving you eye contact. Like I used to just be like looking the opposite way. Yeah, 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 I know. That's crazy. Yeah, I heard it, I heard. You know those people. I know. Yeah, I know. Like, dog, I didn't even finish what I was saying. How you know? Oh, no, because I heard. I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. So stop right there. I don't want to hear no more. I know already.
Like the meme that pops into my head is like this plug with the tongue connected to the mind, and it's like unplugged. That's the meme that comes to my head when I see that or hear that.
Right, right. So it is what it is, Ren. It is what it is.
I also started doing something with music because like a few years I've been like we start at school. I started off with practicing the recorder
Mm-hmm.
uh since elementary school, and after elementary school I went on playing uh the keys, actually keyboard,
Mm-hmm.
and I fell in love with it, and now I want to make my own music. I need to get back
Yeah.
into the practice again because I forgot it a little bit, but now I gained a different perspective, gained a different understanding of how to work with the keys and read music and write music.
Okay. Okay. So do you want to do classical music? Or are you trying to do like a certain, do you know the certain style of music you're trying to do? Are you trying to record? Are you gonna sing? You're just gonna do the
Yes,
music?
I've been my aunt, my where I went to study the do the keyboard.
Right.
Her family is actually into music. Her They put on shows back where I live and here in Europe. They
Mm-hmm.
have a tour, and they also went to India. And I've been learning how to sing from her, even though it's been a long time. But after that, I taught myself how to sing by doing exercises, and I'm so excited. I want to also make sing, but I also want to produce the beats myself.
You want to produce and you want to sing.
Yeah.
Ren, you're not gonna have all the time in the world.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
gonna have a podcast. You're gonna produce and sing. Like I'm doing that now. I mean, we could do it, but you
Yeah.
gotta do it like the way I've been doing it is because I don't care if it's gonna be successful or not. So it's like here's a cool thing that I did, and then I'll give it some time, and here's another cool thing that I did, and then I'll give it some time, and so on and so forth. But to be like successful, if you want to be like successful, you gotta like here's some songs that I did like constantly. You don't care about that. You just want to do
I wanna
something.
yeah, I wanna do something. I wanna have fun with it. Just
Yeah,
create
that's good.
something that I can vibe with, that everybody else can vibe with.
Right.
I've been practicing these back when I was a kid. My dad used to play these really old music, this really old music from India. It's
Hmm.
in Hindi, and I sampled a few of those and made it a bit lo-fi because I want to do that to practice,
Hmm.
and I have recordings of me singing myself,
Hmm.
and friends have remixed that and made other stuff with it, and I found it so cool. I was freaking out, oh my gosh, like how do I react?
Right, right. It's
Thank you
always
so
like
very
that.
much, but what? I didn't expect it.
I'm still like that in a certain way. Like I'm still like that. Like if I just walked into the room and you were listening to my song, I'll be like, "What are you listening to me for?" I get stupid too. Like I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I wish I could tell you the answer for that one. I'm trying to work on that too. But um, so you make beats? You
Yeah.
making stuff? Like what do you use?
I used a bunch of stuff. In the beginning I just used GarageBand to practice on, and then in Audacity uh I had like these this audio that I got like randomly from certain places, and then I used to like put it into one. Like it didn't matter if it was like a sound of a bird, some drums or whatever, and I just like you put it in one. And now I use FL Studios actually.
Okay. So you're using FL Studio.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not bad. I used FL Studios for well, the producer that I worked with used FL Studios for Stick in the Head. The whole EP that I did last year was done with FL Studios. So it's, I mean, definitely a good program. It's a great program to really like get some stuff going. I'm
So
right
I
now I'm
wanna.
using Machine.
Hmm.
It's Mashine. It's That's how you spell machine. But if you look that up, they have like these small little devices that like what I have is a micro. So it's like 250, $260, $160. But so it's not really that expensive, you know. But it gives you everything. It gives you everything. It has top-notch sound, quality sound, and it has the actual channels where you can do the beats yourself and stuff. That's how I did that Far Out and the Further that I just released the video. I did the beat basically just playing it, doing the little playing and
Yeah.
playing it back and adding some stuff. So it's fun. It's fun. Ren, this is new to me. This is new for me too. I just do new stuff. I continue to do new stuff. I don't care. People go, oh, how you gonna do that? You never did that before. How you? Okay, I'm
Like
gonna figure it out. What do you
for
mean?
me, it doesn't matter what you give me, like whether you want like a drawing, a painting, or whatever, and doesn't matter if I have like cheap stuff or most expensive stuff. Just anything that I can find, I can just make something out of it. It
Right.
just for me, I just need to get to know what I'm working with, and then I make something.
That's how it is. I think that's life, friend. You
Yeah.
figure out what you're working with, you get confident with the information and whatever you're doing in life, whatever it is, you get confident, you get comfortable with all the information and how it works, and then you really don't even have to think. Then after that, you get out your own way and you just go in, especially with music, you could just do it and you can start thinking about something else. Once you're really confident about stuff, you just do it and you feel good about it while you're thinking about other things. Like your mind will be like, because it's like a job. I don't know if, Ren, have you worked a job, like a regular job? Not yet.
No, not yet.
It's all
Closest
right.
thing I came to a job was like helping my grandmother out in her store, but I was like around 5 years old.
No, I get
So
it.
yeah,
No, I get it. But when you work a job, it gets to a certain point where you have the information, you have the programming. So, for instance, it's like I worked at a gas station before. I knew people's cigarettes as soon as they came in. I knew what pump was what. I knew how to check certain things. I knew how to do the lottery tickets. And I'm doing a bunch of things at once. And it became to a point where I can just do this and that and this, that, and the third, and just yeah, 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 and still listening to the first conversation. So you said this, all right, 10 on 15, all right, cool, put that on there. Also, Newports, all right, here you go, boom. It's like do all those things without really thinking about them. Like it came to a point where I'm just thinking about things I'm gonna do when I get home. Meanwhile, I'm going, all right, 10 on 16, all right, you need cigarettes, this one, that one, lottery tickets, two of those, three of those. Like I was just
autopilot.
autopilot, pressing the buttons. Here's a change. Boom. Thank you. Have a good one. Next one. So it's like that with everything, and it becomes like that with music. It becomes like that with this podcast. Like you're listening to what I'm saying, but then you're probably
Yeah,
like having something in your background, like okay, maybe I should lead the conversation that way, or maybe like that's a good thing he said. That might lead up to a good question later. Whatever.
exactly.
It's the same. Yeah, that was my point of all the things that I was doing.
You
I'm
got it
sorry.
spot on. You got it spot on. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just starting. I'm just new to this, and I know you're new to this as well, but I actually like this. It feels like me. It feels like myself. And this, like, I thought I had to like put it all aside. I had like put myself aside and the stuff I was interested in and just keep focusing on my education. But
Why?
like
Why did you think that?
I thought that because I was told that it would distract me from my education. And then I actually went to talk with people from my school, like my tutors, my lecturers, and they were like, Rin, why are you doing that? That's first of all, that's not how you study, and second of all, like no wonder you haven't been working so well. You just
Right.
you put yourself aside. It was like since high school I was just like I had that focus, like just finish school and they can do it like your stuff. And after I was done with high school, I was like, the world has changed since I left. I was like, what happened?
Right. Right. So, because you're so focused on like, we need to get this work done first. This is schoolwork. This is what's important. This is the real world. That's kind of like, a dream, a fantasy, hobby. So just put that off
Yeah,
and do this. But if it's just an hour of a conversation a week, and maybe you have to do what, maybe another hour or so of prep work, and you can do it at your leisure. You might do 10 minutes here and then another 15 minutes there. It's how bad could it really be? Now, if you just like constantly, I need to keep up on this, I need to put out 3 podcasts a week, then maybe, yeah, you're probably gonna have to like quit school if you're really trying to do this podcasting thing like
yeah,
3 times a week, 2 times a week, with taking, like, for instance, those other podcasts that they come out with, like these lengthy, it'll be 3 hours long, like a Joe Rogan podcast, it'd be 3 hours long. There'd be 2 or 3, 4 a week, and then there there's clips, 15 minute, 10 minute, 7 minute, eight, whatever clips. Imagine if we had to do all that ourselves. And we actually did. We could do it. We could do it right now,
good.
Ren. Me and you. We can take all our episodes and start getting clips and go, okay, that was the topic of this. Boom. That was the topic of that. Boom. And it would help us. But you know how much work that is? That's a
Yeah, it is a
lot
lot of
of
work.
extra work. So for me, I don't care enough yet. I'm just trying to get good. I'm not trying to get good and famous and be on the top of the trending charts or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's like the
I
moment
just
you
try to
start
get
thinking
good
about
first.
that, like it's I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Fine.
It's like
Go
the
ahead.
moment you start thinking about that, I want to be famous tomorrow or something. Like you're not gonna get stuff done. You're actually just gonna like get frustrated. You're just gonna sit in that pit
We
instead of
can.
actually going through the natural processes. That's why I keep the podcast short, uh, for me and for the other person. So
Mm-hmm.
it also might lead to having more conversations in the future. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
take a lot of my time. I don't edit them because the editing as well takes time because there's this sometimes I talk with a friend of mine and we don't want to do it live and I edit it. Like the editing does take time and I'm not going to be able to like uh put out content. That's why I like using StreamYard,
Right.
especially
Yeah,
when
you just
talking
put
to
it up.
people.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, you just put it up and that's it. If they wanted to listen to it, they wanted to watch it, that's it. That's all. Like, I'm not here to like manipulate you to listen to me, to give me money, to do anything. No, if you like it, hey, I put it up. Go check that out. If you don't like it, all right. And it hurts me because I've had decent numbers. Like I didn't never strive for the moon or get a million on anything, but I've gotten decent numbers and I know how to get them if I really, really want them. But it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes money. And I
Yeah.
don't care to give any three of those to the podcast just yet. I want to get good. I want to be better at what I'm doing. I want to feel confident when I'm doing it. And then, then okay, now we can start hitting the pavement. Hey, listen, everybody, this, that, and the third. But for right now, let's just, I think you agree. Let's just get good at what we do. Let's just get
Yeah.
confident first, and then we can go on and let the world see us or whatever the hell you want to say.
Yeah, like you got to build up that consistency, and yeah, these things take a lot of investment, emotional investment, time, and money
Hmm.
to put out something of quality. But if you're actually like starting out and you find a way to like actually become friends with the people who watch you, actually create a better, healthier bond. Like you don't have to be friends with everyone, but if people like what they see and like the consistency, and they feel like, hey, you need more viewers, or people will come themselves. They will come by
Yeah,
themselves to
yeah,
check you out.
right. And if some people really feel the people that really feel like you need more viewers, need more people to pay attention to you, they will do their due diligence and promote you and share
Yeah.
them to their friends. Some people are like, oh, you need more. They're just like trying to like hype you up, but they're really not doing anything for you. They're just trying to like say something nice.
Yeah.
I'm not with that. If you're really about helping and you're with the cause or you like what I'm doing and you want to support, then support in any which way. It doesn't matter. You could share it, you could put up a story. I'm not the type of person that's like stingy and like, oh well, you can't get on my post or I won't mention you in my stories because I'm not that. When it comes to my Instagram, it's basically like communism. It's like everybody gets whatever. Obviously I'm not gonna I'm still the authority figure in the communism, like, but it's like we're having a good time. Yay, your meme gets put up. Your meme gets put up. Hey, your story, I'll share it. Whatever. You mentioned me, I'm going to share it so that way you can get some new followers or whatever. I don't care. It's not that serious. You know? Some people like hold it like their pride and joy and mine. And they get all golem like, my precious. It's like, whoa, not that serious. Because if they don't like me, they're not gonna like me. You get what I'm saying? If they don't like
Yeah.
me, they're not gonna follow me. They're not gonna pay attention. So why are you so worried to post somebody and share one another? Because you're worried that maybe they'll like me and then they'll just like me so much that they'll go, oh, I forgot about that guy because now I like him. Like, and maybe there is some people like that, but I think that there's enough time, there's an abundance out there in the world. There's enough for everybody if we actually just share it. The reason why there isn't enough is because people are holding and hoarding all the money, all the attention, all the time. They're fighting, competing for it instead of being a little bit more free and free flowing with all that stuff. So that way everybody can get a little taste of the waters, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Like there was like an interesting thing this one person said. Like there was this whole talk about privilege. It's like, don't feel bad because you have privilege. Use that privilege to help somebody else out.
Exactly. Exactly. Whatever little privilege you have a little privilege with money and you can help somebody out, help somebody out. You have a little privilege with attention and you help somebody out. Like you have a privilege with, how about privilege with a happiness? You might have a happiness privilege. Like, it's a weird way to say that, but it's like there might be some people that just don't know how to be happy. They haven't came in contact or came in encounter with anybody that's going to bring them happiness, that understands enjoying life or living in the moment, and they might just be completely depressed and everybody around them's just like, the hell with you. And I usually, like, I know a lot of people that are like that. I don't know if I have that face, that demeanor, but people will find me in the street. People will find me in the store and start talking to me, like, just, hey. And you could tell this person's kind of lonely. He just start talking. But for some reason, he thinks I'm the person that he should talk to. And I don't swat him away or give him a dirty look. They obviously knew what they were coming to. Like, they came to the right person, because I'm not going to shut them
Yeah.
down, and I'm going to listen to them and talk to them all the same, but I've seen it enough to know what it's like and what it looks like. And it's.
I'm the same. Like, if there's like something going on, uh, I pick out certain people to talk to with first because I'm usually like in a new setting. I'm a bit shy, but I've started to teach myself to just go for it and strike up a conversation with someone. Like, there's no
Right.
need to be shy anymore because I might end up missing out on an opportunity, and maybe I can make that person happy as well while we're having a conversation, some extra bonus points here and there. I noticed we have some questions in the comments from
Okay. Let's do
the
them.
lovely Miss Yuji Rose. Do you feel that is the challenge behind why more people don't take on creative inklings?
Inklings, yeah.
That element of social media competition with others or expectations of blowing up quickly? Yeah, I do think like uh when people see stuff, they're like expecting stuff to like blow up quickly. Like, hey, I've started this thing, I want it to blow up, or else I'm not doing it anymore. But the thing is, Rome wasn't built in one day. Progress happens step by step with everything you do, and you shouldn't expect everything to come to you just because you heard this TikToker blew up for this dance, and in your mind you're just thinking, hey, they're just doing a dance, why do they get so many views? But you
Right.
don't know who they are, you don't know what they've done in their life, how much work and effort they might have put into something, how much of their time they had to spend, how much they had to work, and something they didn't realize like would actually get them, like this breakthrough actually got them their breakthrough.
Right.
You don't know the full story.
Right.
And I think that's like where I live, like the mindset of some people. They think this all happens in one time, because I think it was also because they were like a little younger back then. They're
Right.
like, oh, more people know you, like you can do this awesome stuff, but they don't realize how long it actually took for that person to develop that. They just think, oh, that person's famous because of this, maybe that's why it's a cool person to hang out with, but they don't think about the other stuff, and they just want it like that. And you
Right.
can't have it just like that.
Right. Well, me answering that question, Yuji. Hmm. Yeah, there is definitely a lot of people that just don't feel like they can compete. You get on social media and you sign up and you hit up all your friends from whatever place, and you text all the people, and then it all finally comes in. And when it comes in, for most people it's like 55 followers, and you go to your social media browser, and the first people they're showing you that are there, they already got 1 million views on something. You're like, I got 55 followers. I got 3 likes for the first post I put up, and this person got 1 million views and who knows how many likes and how many subscribers. I'm never going to be able to compete like them. And I think their perspective gets skewed to the point where they think that they need to be at that level to do what they do successfully. So they just opt out. Oh, I can never, would never, I'm not no whatever, and they just start bashing or, you know, whatever the case may be. It's really just a defense mechanism from not trying because, as been said, Rome wasn't built in a day. This this takes time. You gotta pound the pavement, but a lot of people living in today's society where we can grab our phone and order what we want at a drop of a dime. It'll be here tomorrow. Some things might be here today. So with that type of urgency on everything else that you get in life, to actually think, I'm gonna work on this and I'm gonna stick it out and I'm gonna pound the pavement a little by little and you know I'll get there. It's not the case, and especially when there's somebody else becoming successful overnight, and when they're successful, you know about it because someone else is telling you that they're successful. Everybody's like, "Oh, did you see this new one thing? Check it out, 5 million." And you're trying to work on your little thing. You're like, I'm trying to work on my little thing. It's gonna be so nice once everyone sees it. And this person's like, the hell with that. This person just did a goofy dance, 5 million streams. You're a loser. That person's a winner. But the reality is, we don't know. Okay, maybe that person got it off of luck. Maybe he wasn't working, that me and Ren didn't see them and go, oh, they've actually been working for 10, 20 years before you saw that. Maybe they just got it out on a whim. Now they have to deal with the consequences and the repercussions of just becoming successful overnight and dealing with the high that felt and the low that it's going to feel afterwards. It's You're looking at them, people are looking at them in a capsule of like, this is who they are at this moment. They're in their glory, but who knows if they'll ever be up the way they were up at that moment, or if they're even up when everyone else feels like they should be up at the moment. We don't know. We're just speculating. We're projecting. We're putting our feelings into their shit. That's my answer.
Yeah, it's like enjoy the process, enjoy making those baby steps,
Yep.
those milestones that you'll reach. They're just like extra bonuses that you'll get that'll just help you push through
Right.
when doing the process.
Yep.
It's like you'll you'll start to know how things actually work because, like you said, if you got that fame off of luck in a second, just like that, you got like the really high highs, and you're gonna have to find a way to deal with that overnight because and it's a lot of pressure. It's not just always their famous big deal whatever. There are also so many consequences and repercussion the person has to deal with at that point,
Right.
and that's where some of the dangers can come from, and why
Yep.
some people can't have that consistency when putting out stuff, because that's probably like the thing that made them there to that point, but they can't do anything else with it because they never got the chance to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like speaking for myself, my inconsistency would come from like trying to feed that machine, trying to like get a big moment, but also trying to do it on my terms. So it wasn't like I was exactly doing what I knew completely. Like if I wanted to become successful, I know this would work. Let me try to work on that. No, I would be like, I'm gonna try this slightly to the left, slightly different from what other people are doing, but it's going to be kind of aligned with the times. And I'm going to hope, and I'm going to put all my freaking energy for the whole year on it. And then when it falls flat, I'm going to be like in a sunken place for 2, 3 months. and I don't want to do anything, and I don't know if I even want to do music again, but I know I want to do music, but I don't know if I want to, so that's what ends up happening when you're trying to like shoot for the stars or trying to like aim somewhere, and you realistically is like you don't have the money or the connections to make it so. Because what people are not saying, especially with all these things in a certain moments, yeah, a meme, if you get a funny meme, a funny TikTok going, yeah, you can get a good moment of, fame or whatever. But for the majority of those people, they get hooked up with a good team. They have a good team behind them. They're signed to a certain label, a brand, a company that's putting money into them that you're not seeing, that you're not privy to. And you think that they're just like, voila, and it came out of nowhere, and they didn't. They actually have a lot of people putting money in that's making you like see them 400 times a day, so you never forget them.
For me, I probably have those opportunities, those connections in my life, but I said to myself, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it by working hard on it myself. I don't want to be dependent on anyone else.
I
Like
understand.
I just want to be me and do my own thing. Because I could have gone the other way, and that would have like been super easy. Like I, but no, I just want to like have that confidence and learn how to do these things by myself. Because whether I like it or not, if something happens and I'm cut off from all those connections, I want to still be able to lift myself up and continue to work if something happens and figure stuff out for myself. Like I've been in like horrible place like depression and whatever else, but I found a way to lift myself up out of there just by continuing and just doing something and not just I'll have the urge to just sit down and do nothing and just be in that headspace, but as long as I make those little steps, I'll see like, hey, it's working, and
Right,
I won't feel that uh in that terrible anymore, or that in the terrible state of mind. Like it's
right,
and that didn't even come overnight. That's something that I had to work on for years, and I'm glad that I learned that. And especially with like understanding stuff like this, then
right,
it's a lot healthier than just having that mindset like, oh, this person is famous because of this, and just like having that narrow minded view of things. It's not good for anyone.
right. It's narrow-minded. It's literally narrow-minded. When you're narrow-minded, you're like you're looking at the world through this little hole. You're like, yeah, this is the whole world. And like, you know, I know you probably haven't had the experience, but if you get a psychedelic experience, that's like one of the first things that really go when if you really get one, you know, oh, wait a minute, my life is never going to be the same. There's no way I can turn back. It's over. Like, that's why so many people like talk about it and they harp on it. And like, when I start talking about it, I get excited because I remember my life, the way I looked at my life was like that. And then it's like, whoa, now I can't. In the beginning was like, whoa, too much information. Everything's smacking me all at once. I gotta try to figure this out because that's how much. That's why like Pierre says, oh, I don't want people taking psychedelics because he doesn't really know what state people are in. And if you're in a really, really bad state and you take that and you think that you're gonna be better, you might be worse off.
Yeah,
If you're not strong enough. That's why like he doesn't want to advocate for it. I
there
tell
was
people take a little bit at a time.
yeah,
Little bit at a time.
microdose. There was this dude on YouTube. He was talking about drug safety, like when you're trying some sort of substances, you have to be with like a friend with you, even if yeah, So like if
Right.
something happens, then there is someone there.
Right.
And these things you shouldn't really try them by themselves. I was also like talking with some groups about this on Facebook. They're like fans of midnight gospel,
Mhm.
and they were talking about like uh their experience with ayahuasca, DMT,
Mhm.
and how meditation is like they were like it's like a way of microdosing, but like
It
a
is.
safe
Could be.
version.
Yeah, it could be. It definitely can be if you do it right. If you do it right, you do it for long enough, it might take you 20, 30 minutes, but you can get, like, even with breathing, you can do it with breathing. Wim Hof, I want to say his name is. He's the ice shaman.
Yeah, I think
You
that's
know who I'm
him.
talking about? The guy that goes
I think he was
running
from
in the
Holland,
water.
actually.
I want to say he is from Holland. He
He
runs in the water and he's like he gets in the
Yeah,
water and he's like no he when the Mexican beer became popular and it started to come out, he was the one that was like, you can get rid of that just with breathing exercises. And at the time I was actually sick, Ren, and I was sick and I was panicking a little bit when it first hit, and I started doing the breathing exercises that he was doing. Like he was on, I want to say it was on Russell Brand. I seen him before, so I'm like, oh, this guy again. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, breathing exercises, let's do it now. I bet you can hold your breath for a minute, no problem. I'm like, I'm asthmatic. There is no way I'm gonna hold my breath for a minute. And I did the exercises with him, and I held my breath the first time for 75 seconds, and I was like, this is real. This is a real thing. I don't know. This guy is weird, but it's like you look at the guy like, oh, this guy, what does he know? He's jumping in ice rivers, like naked and stuff. Like I wouldn't do that,
it's
but it
not that
works.
simple,
But it works. It works. The
but it
breathing
works.
works. I would not jump in the ice water. I'm sorry. I'm not that
Oh, they
tough.
have a thing here. It's called the New Year's dive. Like this is me uh, translating it. Like New Year, people like jump into the ocean on New Year's, and I'm like, aren't you guys freezing? They're like, yes, but we liked it. Like, did he? I'm not sure if it was true. Did he actually learn the technique from like monks or something? I
I
heard,
want to say
yeah.
he learned it from monks. Yeah, he learned it from monks. It's like one of the biggest things within breathing, within spirituality, within meditation, is breathing. It's like a big thing. It's a big part of it. A lot of people that are stressed out and they smoke cigarettes, a lot of it isn't really even the nicotine. After a while, the nicotine, you get accustomed to it, you get kind of like used to it. You're not even getting the nicotine anymore. What you're doing is the breathing exercise. You're doing the
Mm-hmm.
so you're doing the breathing exercise, but you're thinking, no, cigarette. I wouldn't sit here and breathe. Why would I sit here and breathe? I'm gonna sit here and smoke a cigarette and get a good nicotine fix. No, sometimes you do get a nicotine fix, but sometimes you just actually
Yeah, that's why when people try to get themselves off nicotine, they have like these mint cigarettes, or I don't know what they're called, but they don't have like the nicotine in them, but they're just doing like the breathing exercise, and
right.
I heard that has helped people.
Yeah, yeah. Plenty of people, they smoke like weird cigarettes that don't really have smoke. It just, some of
The
it is
mint
nicotine, but
chamomile.
some of it is just, yeah, it's just like a weird mint that it kind of gives you a taste in your mouth that tastes like menthol, and maybe you're doing the exercises and you're doing all the gestures. Because I think after a while, like it becomes second nature when you do certain things a lot in the day, especially getting older. Like if I come home, I'm coming home, I take off your shoes, whatever. You sit on the couch. I sit on the couch. I turn on the TV. I turn on remotes. and turn on. Like I do a certain thing a certain way, and I do it almost every time the same way. It's the same with smoking. It's the same with any habit. You're like, all right, around this time is when I do this. All right, it's been about 3 hours since I did that. It's not an addiction where you're like, come on, give it to me, I need it. It's more like just something that's like, okay, I haven't done this in a while. And I usually do this around this time. Get to it. And then you just do it. Sometimes I just, like, if I'm smoking, I'm like, the hell am I? Why am I smoking right now? I don't even want to smoke. Let me put this out. What am I doing? It's just like the habit. You go and grab it. You're like, what am I doing? Why did I do this? What am I doing? I just did it before I even thought about it. Like I'm just compulsive nonsense. And I'll just sit there and bash myself, which is not nice. You should be nice to yourself.
Yeah.
But sometimes I need to tell myself, look at you, you're being crazy right now.
Like people like routine. It's what keeps us going through the day. It's like it's our go-to. It's something that's safe. Like that
It's
gives us the idea of being safe.
I I think it's definitely that. I also think it's animalistic. It's
Yes.
very nature based. Like I live right here next to a river. There's ducks, there's geese, there's birds. They do a certain thing. I have a cat. She does a certain thing at a certain time. If I play music, she thinks it's time to play. If I, like if certain things that I do, she reacts accordingly. I go to the bathroom, she follows me. Why? Because she's just been doing it for so long that now she's like, okay, bathroom, follow him. Meow. And sit there and just flaunt around and hope she gets petted because she knows she will get pet if she comes to me, but I don't tell her, come on, Lou, I'm going to the bathroom. She just hears me walking. This guy's going to the bathroom. I'm following him. It's just a pattern. She sits over here behind the TV and looks out the window. It's just a pattern. It's like that's why like even dogs, you want to train dogs correctly because why? If they piss in a certain area, they pee in a certain area, they're gonna come back to pee in that area.
It's
Oh,
could become routine.
right. This is where I pee. I guess I pee now. It's the same thing. We are the same way. We don't want to admit it because we have a little bit more of a complex way of thinking. We could break things down. We have thumbs. We can make stuff. So we don't want to admit to ourselves that we're animals. We follow a certain like ritualistic theme, whatever it is, whatever we think that suits us, or whatever we were introduced to first. Then we go into that, and we just kind of don't want to break out of our programming.
We have Yujiro's. The fear is so dangerous because we can become more savage, practicing patterns of our past. Yes, this is like something important. Like for instance, like you said, when you're not being nice to yourself, and for instance, you're practicing that because you were so used to doing that. Uh, that's one of
Right.
the things you should look out for. And
Yep.
starting to
100%.
understand the pattern, starting to understand your routine, it's then a lot easier to redirect yourself.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right, UG. The patterns they're very dangerous. Don't want to continue doing the same patterns. You want to kind of like what I try to do is just shift them slightly. Okay, let's move them a little bit this way in this direction. Don't try to go with a hard, right. We're going that way now because you're gonna probably break down and then want to, have to start back on the same road, going the same direction. Want to just like slowly turn that and get to a certain place where little by little, okay, yesterday you were like this, today now you're like that. Remember, tomorrow you want to be like that, and then move down that path. instead of trying to like, tomorrow I'm gonna be a different
The
person. You're
connection
like,
is breaking
whoa,
up a little bit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Like the connection was like the internet was being like a bit a bit
Bunch of
stupid.
haters. Yeah. Internet was being haters. Bunch of haters. I get it.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Like,
No, you're fine. It happened.
the page.
Am I still on the show? Because I can't even see the chat. Ren's gone. It looks like we're still live. I'm just standing here looking silly. All right. Well, Ren's gone. I don't know if she's gonna come back. This is her show.
The page.
So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Ren, you left me and I didn't know what to do.
Oh, sorry. Like the thing kicked me out. Like that's what it is with technology sometimes. Still finding out stuff that works.
No doubt. So do you want to end this now? Can we just leave it like that? I know I need to get you on my show too, Ren.
I think we can
Or
like
do,
have
or
like
do you have another question?
a last thing we can probably end up on. I wanted to like say something about like the practicing behaviors, the routines.
Okay.
And I feel that this one's important. When, for instance, in like times of like abuse or like those types of patterns that I know
Mhm.
for some people it's a little bit harder to get out of.
Mhm.
And for those who are struggling with that, I wish them actually all the best because I know, uh, like once you've like with some people when they've come accustomed to something and you'll start getting stuff like Stockholm syndrome. Actually, you've gotten used to like
The
the
abuse.
routine, and you also started to sympathize with the abuser and the abuse. And I believe we're as long as we recognize this with enough practice, we can get ourselves out of that routine, out of that mindset. But it is going to take a lot of time. And to anybody who is struggling with that, I wish you all the best.
Right. Yeah. 100%. So it take a lot of time, but one day at a time. One day at a time.
I think I'm gonna end the podcast here. We'll definitely continue talking more in the future, but this was fun. I really enjoyed it. And I got
Yeah.
to learn more about you as well. And also a bit more about myself, too.
No doubt. No doubt. Thank you for having me, Ren. Appreciate you. Appreciate
You're
everybody in
welcome.
the chat, everybody that's watching. I don't know. I can't tell. But thank you.
You're welcome. And now the internet decides to cooperate.
Of course. Of course. That's how it
Thank,
goes. That's how it goes.
thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. To don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like we said, these are our opinions. Don't send hate. And when commenting, please be polite. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. And I hope we'll speak again the next time. Thank you for your comments and keep them on coming. Right? Check out Potent the Rockstar's link tree is in my description below. Please go check him out. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. All right? Bye.
Bye.